Here's what we've been up to living in our 2005 Freightliner Sprinter van, attempting to visit all 50 states. We did our laundry at a laundromat for the first time since moving into the van full-time. We got ready in a gym bathroom, and we went to a Chicks concert in Bend, Oregon. There was lots of yummy food, drinks, and the perfect weather. We did a much-needed deep clean of the van, and we organized a little bit better. We spent the night in a casino parking lot, and were kicked out early the next morning.
Hey, homeless people, get the hell out of here.
We stayed at a countryside winery in Washington, and then I cut over a foot of my hair off to prepare for van life. I love how it turned out. I stocked up on some stationery at Craft Warehouse so I can write letters to all of you while we're on the road.
If you want to get letters from me while we're on the road, just get a hold of me, send me your mailing address, and I'd be happy to send you a letter.
We went to a friend's adorable outdoor wedding and then drove up north to the Canada-US border. We stayed on a farmstead and did some loose planning for our Alaska trip. And then it was time to cross the border. Stay tuned to see our recommendations for your next trip to the beautiful state of Alaska.
Hi, I'm Claire. This is my husband Andy and our dog Henry. For the past 5 years, we have lived right outside of Portland, Oregon. When we got engaged in September of 2021, we started looking for a home to buy. Unfortunately, these are the prices we were looking at. The housing market, combined with the increase in crime in the area, yes, that's my car window, made us start to think about what we really wanted to do with our future. So we decided, instead of buying a home that we didn't love for more money than we were willing to spend, we would buy a van. We said goodbye to our jobs, the house we'd been renting, and 95% of the things we owned. And now we're on a mission to visit all 50 states in the next 12 months. Come along with us on our journey as we live as a newly married couple in our 2005 Freightliner Sprinter van.
Made it to Canada!
We were worried there for a second, thanks to Andy's underage drinking tickets in college.
I was really actually for a second thinking they weren't gonna let us in. I was like, well, guess we're headed to the East Coast.
After we crossed into Canada, we couldn't believe how beautiful the views were just while driving on the highway. The issues we had with Border Patrol and Andy's crazy college days were worth it to see this beautiful country. We never really acquired cell phone service after crossing though, and we went 3 full days without using our phones.
Get out of the road! Get! Get out of the road!
They're right in the middle of the road. We just took the window covers off for the very first time, and it made a world of difference. Everything seems so much more spacious now. It honestly kind of feels like we're outside.
Whitehorse was the first real town we drove through in a 3-day span of time. It has a population of just over 25,000 people, and because it's the first town along this route in Yukon Territory, lots of travelers will stay there for a break from the road. And that's just what we did. We stayed in this real Canadian superstore lot for 2 nights before getting back on the road for the last 13 hours of our drive. It was a lot easier getting into Alaska than it was Canada, but the first 2 days we were in Anchorage, it was pretty chilly and rainy, so we kind of just hung out, got acquainted with the area, and checked out some really cute coffee shops. The first day we had some real sunshine, we knew we had to take advantage of it. We drove about 40 minutes from the heart of Anchorage to Alyeska Trailways. It consists of an aerial tram that costs $38 for most adults. However, if you hike the 2.2 miles up to the top, you can ride the tram for free on the way back down. Just make sure you're prepared. It may only be 2.2 miles, but this was pretty difficult, especially if you're like me and not wearing the appropriate clothes with no water bottle.
Dying. How are we not there?
Crazy. You almost didn't make it.
That was the hardest 2 miles I've ever hiked in my life.
How difficult was the hike?
That was the hardest hike I've ever done. It was only 2 miles.
There's a restaurant at the top so you can reward yourself with a beer and some food with some pretty amazing complimentary views.
So I went up to get some fries because we need sustenance. Nobody ever picked this up, so they gave me the whole thing for free. Sandwich and fries. Welcome. Let's see how Henry is. Henry, we're back. Hi, baby.
That night, we were given permission to stay at the Anchorage Botanical Garden. What we didn't realize was the parking for the Botanical Garden is next door at one of the public elementary schools. So we were that creepy white van parked in a school parking lot overnight. Walking through the Botanical Garden was the perfect way to start our next morning. We enjoyed our coffee at the entrance, checked out the gift shop, and made our way through all of the exhibits. We thought for a minute they were going to have to hold us there because a mama bear was spotted near the entrance, but apparently the situation was monitored and we were able to leave without any hiccups. We grabbed some brunch afterward because we were starving and didn't really have any quick food in the van. I learned at the restaurant we were at that Alaska contains more than half of the world's glaciers. That's crazy! The next day we spent some time at Earthquake Park. This is a park in Anchorage that commemorates what's known as the Good Friday earthquake. It happened on March 27, 1964, and was a magnitude 9.2 earthquake that devastated parts of southern Alaska in just 4 minutes and 38 seconds. It is the most powerful earthquake recorded in North American history and the second most powerful in world history. The area down below the park is still very much impacted by what happened 58 years ago.
It's slippery, be careful.
Yeah, these are the wrong shoes, Walmart shoes. Bad choice.
This was also when I finally put 2 and 2 together and realized all the public trash cans in Alaska are enclosed like this to prevent bears from digging through. We headed up a road that is owned and maintained by the military to go to Rendezvous Trailhead. It was a very bumpy ride, and the van started overheating like it does sometimes, so we had to take it really slow. It was kind of sketchy at the top because there were military signs everywhere warning trespassers not to go past certain points.
I'm getting Area 51 vibes. It's not the best feeling.
But there were ski lifts and hikers everywhere, so we tried to just stay on the main trail to avoid breaking any rules. So the thing is, I really do love hiking.
Once again, Andy is kicking my butt. My ears hurt.
I promise, I do. I definitely did my fair share of complaining on the hikes we did in the Anchorage area, but they were seriously on a different level. So if you plan to do any hiking in Alaska, come physically and mentally prepared. Plan for today is we just worked out, showered, all that at Planet Fitness, and I'm waiting on Andy to finish up, and then we're gonna go tour what's called the Oscar Anderson House. It is apparently the first home that was built in Anchorage, so it's like a little museum now. I'm pretty excited because I like old things. I like looking back on history and stuff. We're gonna go tour it. I'm guessing it won't take very long, and then we're gonna kind of just hang out the rest of the day. It's pretty gloomy, it's raining. This is our last day, I believe, in Anchorage. And tomorrow I think we're gonna head to our next Alaskan town.
So each one of those is a different song?
Yes.
What'd you think?
It was pretty cool. It smelled really bad in the house, but the history was cool to see.
I agree. It smelled very interesting, very like old. I kind of wanted to throw up a little bit.
After a pretty awesome short week in Anchorage, it was time to head south to Seward, Alaska. If you enjoyed watching this video or any other videos on my channel, please consider giving it a like by clicking on the thumbs up button. If you want to follow along on our van adventures over the next year, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.